Have you ever built a Power App and then realized that the one-size-fits-all approach, well, it just doesn't really fit anyone? Today, we're going to talk about how to transform a single, static app into a tailored, dynamic experience for every single user, from your newest employee all the way up to your administrators. Let's dive in.
You know, this question comes straight from the Power Platform community, but I think it's a feeling every single one of us app makers knows really well. It gets right to the heart of the matter, right? How do we stop showing everything to everyone and instead start showing the right stuff to the right person at exactly the right time?
The problem is really simple. A static interface just creates chaos. I mean, think about it. When your new hire is staring at admin-level settings they can't even use, or a manager has to click through 5 screens that were really designed for a frontline worker, you're not just wasting their time, you're creating frustration. It makes the whole app feel clunky and, frankly, poorly designed.
So to solve this, we have to start with the right foundation. And in modern Power Apps, that foundation is a single, incredibly powerful property called StartScreen.
Okay, so the old way, and you'll probably still see this in a lot of older apps, was to cram a navigate function inside the App.OnStart property. This is now officially deprecated. The modern best practice way is to use the dedicated App.StartScreen property. And listen, this isn't just a simple syntax change, it's about one thing: pure speed.
And here's exactly why that matters. Using StartScreen literally tells Power Apps where to go first. Think of it like a non-stop flight. The old OnStart method, that was like a flight with a bunch of layovers. The app had to load and process everything in OnStart before it could even think about showing the first screen. The modern way lets the app load that first screen almost instantly while it handles all the other data in the background. It is a massive performance win.
So our first strategy is all about identity. Before we can show someone the right screen, we have to answer a really simple question. Who is actually using this app right now? We're going to look at 2 main ways to do this. You can build your own user list in SharePoint, or you can tap into the power of Office 365 groups.
So which one should you choose? Well, this table really breaks down the trade-offs perfectly. Take a look at the flexibility and control columns. The SharePoint method gives you total in-app control. This is perfect for creating custom roles like Project Lead or Safety Inspector, roles that probably don't exist in your main corporate directory. But if you want to leverage the existing security groups that IT already manages, the Office 365 method is way more efficient and secure. There's no single right answer here. It's all about what your specific app needs.
With the SharePoint method, the code is actually beautifully simple. In App.OnStart, we're just telling the app, hey, look up the current user's email in our app users list, find their role, and then save it to a variable we're going to call var role. This one little variable is the key we'll use to unlock all the different experiences throughout the app.
The Office 365 Groups method is just as powerful. This bit of code uses the O365 connector to ask a simple yes or no question. Is the current user a member of this specific security group? And the answer, true or false, gets stored in a variable. In this case, we're calling it admin. Just like that, we know instantly if the user is an administrator. All right, so knowing who the user is, that's half the battle. But the next level, the real game changer, is knowing why they're opening the app in the first place. And this is where we bring in our second strategy, using deep linking to understand the user's task. So what exactly is deep linking? Well, think about it. Most links just kind of drop you off at the front door of an app. A deep link is like having a key that takes you directly to the exact room, the specific file, or the precise form you need to see, letting you skip the lobby and all the hallways in between. And the impact of this is huge. You're not just saving a few clicks, you're fundamentally improving the user experience. Less friction means people will actually want to use your app. It lets you seamlessly integrate with things like emails or Teams notifications, and it shows you respect your users' most valuable asset, their time.
Let's talk about real-world impact for a second. There was an expense approval app that implemented deep links in its notification emails. So a manager would get an email, click the link, and it would take them directly to the specific report that needed their approval. The result? They cut the total approval process time by a staggering 70%. That's the power of turning a task that takes several minutes into one that takes 10 seconds.
So how do we make this magic happen? We go right back to our best friend, the App.StartScreen property. This code uses the param function to basically inspect the URL the user clicked. It just asks, hey, does this URL contain a parameter called item ID? If the answer is no, no problem. We send them to the home screen. But if the answer is yes, we send them straight to the details screen to view that specific item. It is just that elegant.
Okay, so let's put it all together.
This is where the magic really happens. We know who the user is, and we might know why they're here. So how do we use that information to fundamentally change the app experience, right on the fly?
Filtering data is one of the most powerful things you can do. Right here, in a gallery's items property, we're using a simple if statement. It says, if the var role is employee, then filter the site inspections list to show only the records where the creator's email matches the current user's email. But for anyone else, like a manager or an admin, they see the whole thing, the complete unfiltered list.
And we can get even more granular than that. Take this delete icon, for example. Its visible property is tied directly to our var role variable. The formula is about as simple as it gets. It's only visible if var role equals administrator. For every other user on the planet, that button is completely gone, preventing errors and cleaning up the interface all in one go.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground, right? From identifying the user to understanding their task. So let's wrap this up with a nice, clear, actionable checklist to guide you as you build your own dynamic apps.
Let's lock in these best practices. First, always use App.StartScreen for your initial navigation. Seriously. Second, choose the right role management method for your specific needs. Don't just default to one or the other. Third, embrace deep linking. Get your users to their tasks faster. Fourth, control your user interface with visibility and filtering properties. And finally, a really crucial one. Always have a fallback plan for unexpected roles or parameters. And keep your app fast by loading the heavy data on the screens where it's needed, not all at once in App.OnStart.
And that brings us to our final thought. You see, we've looked at these two strategies, roles and deep linking, kind of separately. But the real power, the next level, comes when you combine them. Just imagine a deep link that takes a manager, and only a manager, directly to an approval screen for their direct reports request. So the question I'll leave you with is this. How could you combine these techniques to build the ultimate context-aware experience in your next app?